Larisa Lili Temperance. Today we're doing your energy check-in for twin flames. Today's 8/8 Lionsgate portal that I'm recording this, and it's really on the day of, so I have to get this to you guys today. And it's funny because I had decided to pull the cards out, and I know I've been switching it up this month, but because I've needed a lot of energy preservation and all the shifts that's been happening, it's obviously affecting me too as well, my divine feminines and my divine masculines. And you know what's crazy is I can't, like, I mean, those who've been watching my reads for some time, like here on this is the feminine side, this is the masculine, and then mutual energies for the twins. But you guys know we've been seeing this 9 of Pentacles forever. So last week it was on the masculine side. This week, now the week before it was on the feminines. It's every week, I guess, but mainly on the feminines. But last week was on the masculines. This week is on the back on the feminine side. And the 9 is just a very important number because this has to do with the Hermit, and the Hermit energy has everything to do with the self and your connection with source. And so this has always been about the connection with source. I do want to point out overall energy as well is 9 of Cups for the twins. And so again, having to do with the self. And you know, once I laid the cards out, I went real quick to my bedroom, you know, as I was like in my mind thinking about the 9s, and I'm like, this 8 portal is going to be about our transitions. If you already haven't been feeling it, that's what all the grounding is needing for, because all the energies that's been leading up to this closing, and I really do feel it's a closing and an ending of old ways, but of many things, right? Of many things, but a mental shift overall, and how it really has been difficult for both twins during this separation of everything that's been coming to the surface has been extremely heavy, the energies. And so I'm like, really, I was going to my bedroom and I'm thinking of the 9, and immediately my clock is 11:11. And so to me, this is confirmation that the self here is important for both twins to focus on the self, our own emotional happiness, our own emotional stability as well, and our physical, the stability in our physical life, and the true independence, and the connection with source. So let's just get into the cards. So main energy for the masculines, and what, you know, normally I pull my other major arcana cards, but here I used this card to look at main energies, and they ended up being major arcanas for both twins anyway. So major arcana for the masculines is the Hierophant. And I really feel this is the reason they're with this is because this is about their blind faith and lots of spiritual lessons going on, and how much they have to, I think so much is being illuminated during this 8/8 portal, which is the sun, right? My strong masculine energy. And, you know, it's clarified by the 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. And this is a lot of illusions. So masculines are really undergoing strong dismantling of old ways of thinking, traditional ways of thinking. The 3D is coming, it's like coming down, and Hierophant is a 5 and 5 of Cups. So this is about change. You both have change because the feminines also have the death energy here, and overall energy here for the twins is 10 of Swords. So this is a lot about endings here and making, like, you know, and illusions. I think last week's reading had a lot to do with the masculines and the illusions. The 7 of Cups is what we fantasize, what we think to be true, and all of that is changing, and it's really definitely leaving the masculines in a very emotional space, needing to find 6 of Swords as well. This is tranquility ahead, needing to harmonize. And I think the struggle really is a lot of the depression. There is a lot of depressive energy in this transition because they're I just, you know, we have the 9 of Wands. I just feel such a level of exhaustion right now with this collective and these upgrades, but with the both divine masculines and divine feminine energies, you know, positive and negative energies here, right? Because also it's within us. And so this is a battle within both charges of ourselves. And so the other main energy I got here is growth for the masculines. And this is all about growth. The Hierophant is about growth. And the flowers I have planted are growing from every corner and envelope of me. And they're really seeing the flowers they've planted. Some have not been great. Some have been a blockage, right? So here we have barriers also clarifying it. And so some of the things they've planted have been a blockage in their life. And so this is about a decision for growth. And it's painful, right? Because change is hard. Change is never easy. And the masculines definitely are undergoing this transition. So every corner and envelope of me, it's growing. And it's redefining what that is. And so that's why the harmonization is constantly needing, because the path ahead is still indicating growth. It's still indicating change. And at this point, what are they going to continue to plant? And this growth, you know, this Hierophant energy for them is to really break down these barriers they've had that's limited them for a long time. And, you know, time to really walk through that door. Now for the feminines, and I'll pull some more clarifiers. I just want to get these out the way if I can pick this up. All right, so for the feminines, we've got the Star, and you feminines always get the Star, you know, usually. And this is always about our faith and our hope, right? And our inspiration, but also our self-care. And this is about sticking to the path too, and our belief of our alignment to self. And I feel this is spirit also, you know, this is the remembrance of self, remembering to stay aligned. But this 8-8 portal is you still in your star renewal energy with the Star. So it's still renewing, and it's bringing up a lot of healing and recovery. So you've got 3 of Swords and death energy, feminines. So much is resurfacing here in terms of our hearts. A lot of heart chakra and solar plexus on both twins that are also being like coming to surface in terms of things that probably affected you. And you guys know what that will be for yourselves. But all leading to independence, this 9 of Pentacles, because it's what it's always been. It's always been about leading to this 9, this self, and gaining this inner wisdom through this transition. Now feminines can go through this death process so much more easier now, because we're now in the Star energy, and the Star energy knows the renewal and rejuvenation process and what's required to nurture this space when in this space. And this is the wisdom you gain over time with the 9 of Pentacles, because the more time you spend with yourself, you know, the Hermit observes, and the more time you spend with your thoughts, the more time you spend observing your thoughts and observing yourself, and bringing up important questions that, you know, in from your mind and your heart, or what's in alignment with your mind and your heart, and making sense of it during this time. And I really do feel it's a strong healing space, because the Star is obviously all about healing. And I mean, it may feel heavy, but at the same time, I really feel, feminines, it's needed. And a lot of you know this. And a lot of you are actually fine without the masculine. It's almost like this energy is way too important to be interrupted or interfered by anyone, including your masculine. And all the wisdom that you're observing about yourself and just your life, it really is leading up to this next renewal and this next timeline with the death, right? Because every time you meet this death energy, and this is cycles, this will be forever. I don't think it ever ends, because that is the whole point of the schooling of the earth, to come here and have this human experience, is to constantly go through this elevation within your soul and this renewal because it really is a renewal within your soul. And realize that it was always about your journey to begin with, right? You were always aligning back home to the star. Home, the star is your home. So this is a really important energy for you guys. Now, the main energy here, guidance with celebration. I've been getting this card quite some time for a lot of the reads, because I've been using this deck for a little bit and I'm loving it. So celebration here. There are wonderful times ahead. To see the light at the end of the tunnel is a sight worth celebrating. Take note on how it shines on you. And again, celebration, that's very much in alignment with the star of what's going to, the energy that is here for you once you let these energies align, because we know how that is. I mean, feminines, you know how you go through those transitions, and all of a sudden, well, there could be like after these heavy energies, and then you wake up one day and you're like, oh, it's gone, I don't feel it, right? And that's how you know it's like you've elevated, and you know you've transitioned that timeline. And then of course comes another one, right? But it's in those moments when you actually feel that. And I think those are the moments that's so important for myself when I do experience them. And I have, you know, sporadically during this tough energy, you guys know I've been saying I'm going through for the past month. My biggest transitions always are between the months of June and August anyway. And it's when I get the most upgrades. But I've been having those moments where I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's gone. And I know the shifts that happen within each period. And I embrace those periods, because then I know, okay, this part is done, but there is more to come. And then once you go through those cycles, those transitions, because death is transitions, that's how you kind of navigate through it. And this is how you align with your star, with yourself, and you get to celebrate those moments when you're in good spirit, right? And that's when you celebrate you. Now, we also got a clarifier here of deception when I pulled the growth. And I feel that this is more of not staying attached to a certain mental way of thinking, like not seeing the light, right? Because here this is about to see the light at the end of the tunnel is a sight worth celebrating. And not deceiving yourself, not celebrating yourself and saying, oh, this just happens, or kind of, you know, it's like I'm saying, like you'll have those moments and you'll be like, oh, it's temporary because I'm going to go back to feeling a certain way. And it's like you can't enjoy them. But that's the deception right there, because it's in those moments that we have to enjoy them and not think that, not fall into those traps, right? Because that's where the illusions happen, and that's when the illumination happens, which also the masculines go through, right? With the 7 of Cups and the old wound. So they get to experience the same energy here, where it's like a fantasy and they're like, oh my God, yeah, is this real? It's always a questioning of how we're feeling in those moments. And then when we have this like blissful energy come through, and it could be for a couple of hours, I don't know, but it's different for all of you, but for me it tends to happen sometimes for a couple of hours, or sometimes just for a day or 2 or 3, and then, you know, it's the next thing I process. But I tend to like really celebrate those and not get in my own way, right? You know, here we also have cycles. So this is about cycles closing and free will, and always releasing that ego. And this is just a state of getting understanding. And this AA portal, this moving through to this 8-8 portal, I feel has been a huge transition, like very heavy the past couple of weeks in preparation of what's to come, because this is all about evolving. 8 of Cups, and we have 2 8s here, 8-8, right? So 8-8 portal, 8 of Cups, and our strength, where we're restricting, but also where we need to find courage to this self-evolution, this movement of ourselves. And always about the 9s, ourselves, because the next The next is the 9, right? 8 comes to 9, the South. And this evolution is always constant. Now, the main energy for the twins, if I can pick this up, right? So main energies for the twins combined, mutual, is 10 of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. And this is very much about just grounding the feminine energy within, because the Leo energy, right? We're in new moon Leo, and obviously in Leo season. On top of that, 8-8 portal has everything to do with the Strength card, which is also Leo energy. It's strong masculine energy. So in these strong masculine energies, we have to find the strength and the courage, the willpower, really, the willpower, you know, the self-courage and the willpower to get through the mental conflict with the 10 of Swords. And we have to sever a lot of the old ties that we've had. It's a constant grounding, right? It's a grounding within our emotions, but on a Queen of Pentacles, earthly energy, because we have to bring it down, and because we're in so much fire energy, so it can like ignite a lot of amazing energy within us, high sacral energy as well, you guys. So you guys can be experiencing sporadic high sexual sacral activation, where you're like all of a sudden needing to having really deep thoughts, you know, about your masculine, and for some of you who are open with masturbation, do use masturbation for manifestation, which also I am okay with that. Like, I feel that's strong, because I don't deprive. I'm not a believer of depriving that energy. It's just how you use it. It's the intent that you use it with. It's strong manifestation, and it's sacred. And so when you preserve that space and you make it sacred for yourself, because this is about the self too, but this is an energy shift, knowing that the power that comes from that sacral, again, Leo energy, and the power and the courage and the confidence, that's the Strength card, how we tame our own beast. I don't have the other card, but you guys know how the Strength card looks like with the regular tarot. Wow. And then look at this. As I pick up this card, it's Aries energy, but let's see if I find it quickly. There we go, right? That's strong. Look at all this fire sign showing up. And then, of course, Magician for our 10 of Cups. And there goes that Hermit. So this is, you know, thank God Spirit guided me to this deck, because this is all about really evolving our happiness. But here we learn to tame our own beast with the Strength. And that is what this grounding energy is necessary, because we need to also, with all this fire energy, we need to learn to tame our own beast, whether within our mind, our hearts, our spirit, our souls, on all levels, right? Because it's the biggest challenge when energies are challenging us to transition. And so here we have another 8 with the 8 of Pentacles. So all the 8s that are coming up, you guys, it's very strong manifestation energy. Here we have the 6 of Cups, which is memories of love, and the 9, another 9. This is the 9 of Wands, trials and tribulations. And this is all leading to us working towards, you know, masculine, feminines, individually, towards this constant evolution, this constant growth within ourselves. And you only have, and what it does, it's awakening the memories within your soul. It's more of a soul awakening, because the 6 of Cups is past life, and this is just also remembrance of source and your connection to this very kindred energy, kindred spirit energy within your own spirit, where it's very childlike, needs to be woken up. And that's how we evolve and remember source. But that's also how, through that kindred energy, right? Because the sun also is very much about rejuvenating our inner child. Let me see if I find the sun here real quick for you guys, because I love the sun card in this deck. It's so vibrant in this deck. I just think it's beautiful. Okay, you're probably all the way in the back, sun. Where are you? But, oh, I see it right there. So it's that bringing that rejuvenation through our inner child, right? It's that baby. And again, everything with the sun. Leo energy. We're really strong in Leo energy here, and understanding the rejuvenation of our soul. Our soul is it's unconditional. Children have unconditional love. It's meant to be this fresh, childlike, innocent energy, pure for its purity. And the sun purifies, it cleanses, it clears, and it guides us to our light. And like I always say, nothing hides under the sun. You cannot hide anything under the sun. Your ways, your shadows, your imperfections, right? But we have to learn to love them anyway. But understanding that we don't also have to hide them. We can show up for ourselves. We can own them, and embrace, but evolve them, because this is all about evolving. Eights. And the infinity is all about evolving, right? Manifestation is all about evolving. So here, main energies for the collective is rocky road. And when the road gets rocky, overcome it or find a new path to your destination. And that's what this rockiness on both energies here is showing us, that this is just, there's always a constant opening to a new path. And this Lion's Gate is the new path, right? So where the sun is here to open up the path to our rocky road and to get us through it. And here we have the rain as well. Only after I crawled through the mud and waited for the sun to rise that I realized it was the rain that made me clean again. And these rocky roads, right, through the rain, all of a sudden comes this sun, and it's here to rise. And so when the sun came is when you realize what the rain was doing. And I want to show you guys, this is also a number 8 here with the rain. The rain was just here. You realize the rain just, was that made me clean again, was what made you clean again. And so now when the sun comes and rises is when you see it all. It's the eye. It's when you see it clear. It's where your freedom and your liberation really comes in. And like I love in this deck, it's very childlike too. It's a release. And then we do have main energies, free focus, and fifth dimension. Yes, because this is a consciousness, right? People think that fifth dimension is like you going somewhere. We're not going anywhere. This is a consciousness shift, how we refocus our energy and how we view our transitions and our lessons in life. And also, most importantly, and I will always say this in my channel, how we participate. We're always participating, It's very easy to fall into this space to say, oh my God, this happened to me. But guess what? We were also participating. And I think that's what the consciousness is because now when you raise your consciousness and you see basically the game of life, you learn how to play it better. And this whole earth is truly about schooling. And then you start to understand the dynamics of the school and how to pass, right? And every time you learn something new. But guess what? The way you navigate it is what's going to change. That's what the consciousness, the fifth dimension is. The 5D consciousness is your understanding and constantly knowing how to refocus understanding of the lessons being presented to you, and then how to navigate through it. All right, so I didn't pull the spiritual journey oracles that I want, just to get my energy real quick for. All right, so what do we have? A transition, spiritual for masculines. What is the spiritual transition for the masculines? Spend time alone. And that's what this is. They're seeing a lot. There's a lot of growth taking place here. They're needing to really harmonize their energy. And again, we're talking about the nines. The nines is the hermit energy. So quiet introspection is needed. Disconnect, relax, turn off your electronics and just be. Masculines just need to be. They need to learn how to just be. They don't know how to do that. This is why they distract themselves with a lot of things outside. They're always trying to find out what's outside of them versus just being. And they need to appreciate their quietness, appreciate the silence, appreciate their soul, their spirit, and also like love it, love their soul and love themselves. And this will be a challenge, and I think they're doing this. It feels like they truly are in this space, because of course we're all in the 9, but it's a challenge one, right? Because it's 10 of Swords. You know, I want to point out, I keep falling out. This is find your tribe, and I really feel this has to do with the people in their surroundings, and so the illusions of everyone in their surrounding. Everything in their life is changing, right? Wherever they planted, right? The growth, the flowers I have planted are growing from every corner and envelope me. So even if, let's say, their tribe was not the best, and the tribe could be a family, what they're seeing, the illusions that's being illuminated is how much all of these energies have enveloped and transpired in their life, and how much of an influence and an impact it has up until this point. And it is presenting them a choice, you know, whether they continue or they harmonize and really continue to move forward. But this is going to require the 6 of Swords to maintain the 6 harmony energy. They have to be patient. So let's see for the feminine spirit, what is the soul transition for the feminines? Wow, you guys, seriously, soul alignment, so much, this 9 energy. I love it though. There is an integration of yourself and your soul's purpose happening at this time. And that's what this is, right? Integration, death energy with the healing and the star. This is all alignment, right? Integration right now of yourself and your soul's purpose happening at this time. So much integrating. So similar energies, you guys, just different things showing up, right? Different things showing up. Let me pull an emotion card. Let's see. I think we all know, kind of, but let's see what Spirit presents to us in terms of emotions. What are the emotions of the masculines right now? What are their current emotions? Yeah, look at this. Desire and sabotage. So things aren't always as they appear. That's how they sabotage themselves. They're the illusions, what they've allowed, right? That things that they've allowed in their life to transpire, to be an influence. There's definitely an illumination's happening here. And then desire. I miss the way you taste, the soft lips on your face, your warmth, embrace, everything you gave. And that's that sacral energy, right? The importance of the sacral energy, and that never goes away for a masculine, because again, that's also part of the awakening, and how they've also deceived themselves with the desires of that impulsivity in order to fuel the desires outside of them, and how sabotaging that's been, right? So their relationships, you know, these are a lot of karmic partners, or just relationships they've allowed because they were always seeking outside of themselves as well. And this is a lot of illumination around how sabotaging those connections have been. And again, this could be also just anything, right? Family, friends, whatever they've been planting, and that's been planting and growing and has enveloped them throughout their journey. So let's see the emotions for the feminine spirit. What are the emotions right now? Any challenged emotions for the feminines? What are the emotions? Beautiful. Sorry, please forgive me, and beauty. Your natural beauty takes my breath away. And I feel this is you, again, in a place of forgiveness. This is you healing, forgiving others, opening, embodying that Empress energy, that beauty. Your natural beauty takes my breath away. Knowing your natural nature, that you have to forgive, you have to heal. You've got the Star and the Four of Swords here. A lot of healing, a lot of recovery happening, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of self-care, rejuvenation. So, and I love the colors. I mean, you guys, look at the energy, the comparison of the colors here. This is really good, and this is great energy for you feminines, because this is a very nurturing energy for you, and appreciating your natural space of where you are. So let's see the guidance for the masculines. What is the guidance for the masculines? Balance. You're currently out of balance, and your yin and yang energy needs your loving care and attention. You have been giving too much to your environment and ignoring your own needs. Take the time to regain your strength. And here we are talking about strength again. Very important right now. Masculines are needing to find that balance, their yin and yang. And that's where they have to focus on regaining their strength. So let's see the guidance for the feminines. Guidance for the feminines right now. That's a portal. And we have changes for you feminines. A wind of change is breathing through your life. A new path is unfolding for you. Believe in yourself and stay strong, because it could be a rocky time. Sit back and enjoy the ride. So again, mutual energies, right? We're talking about that rocky road ahead for both. So both of you, it's just talking about this is a balancing time. And it is rocky on both ends here, very rocky, but it's all unfolding. It's building strength, and it's building a new path. And again, I love this card here, the rain. Only after I crawled through the mud and waited for the sun to rise that I realized it was the rain that made me clean again. So my masculines and my feminines, please enjoy the sun. Embrace this manifestation energy, because this is all leading to strong Leo energy to gain back our power and our soul and the rejuvenation of our spirits. So I love you, my feminines. Keep on healing. Make sure to ground today. Drink a lot of water, walk in grass, and connect with nature. Whatever rituals you have, you're scripting, whatever it is, do it today, because this is just a space to nurture yourselves. And this is a lot about spirit, talking about nurturing and really allowing ourselves to enjoy the silence and the solitude, right? It's where we hear source the most. So I love you, my masculines and my feminines, and please like, share, subscribe, click that bell button if you enjoyed my frequency. But with that said, live always relentlessly in striving aspiration. This is the evolution of your soul, and I'm here to nurture you. On to next message. Bye.